Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Well, how are things, my friends? As you can end up imagining, things seem to have just gone a wee bit haywire, as is the normal case with me. In order to ensure that that ends up playing for you, I ended up swapping over a tiny bit early and didn't have the audio playing as well. So there's that fun to end up having with everything else going on. But salutations, my friend. How are ye on this fine Thursday evening? Is there much going on? Is the crack on 90? How does everyone feel about the fact that today's epic announcement by United was none other than to release the one, the only Jersey and Matthias Cunha? Who could have ever guessed that is what would have happened? Who would have ever guessed that the Manchester United state of affairs was that they were going to announce a ridiculously generic outfit and a ridiculously generic situation for everyone to be happy with? But what can you end up doing? The joys of it as it is. Matthias Cunha, to be fair, looks awesome in that really simplistic home jersey. I will probably, if I am, going for the third of the jerseys, because it is the nicest of the jerseys, which is like turning around saying that the eunuch is the nicest of the people in the sex den. But we'll end up seeing how things end up going. At the end of the day, time will tell how all comes on together. Yes, Doc, can you believe I reached my follower goal? Whilst I wasn't here, I am a member of the 200 followers club. I'm happy. I'm satisfied. And I'm even looking forward to the big Goldfinger himself coming back to WWE Raw to have one more match versus the Big Daddy Gonta at Saudi Arabia, as it's blatantly obvious that it's going to be Goldberg versus Gonta at Saudi Arabia. And I do love, speaking of the wrestling situation, how hard people are being on CM Punk. Blockbuster, you beautiful individual. How is life treating you? I appreciate the raid so much. Is the crack at 90? Did the stream go well more than anything else? I hope that it did. It's brilliant to end up hearing for you. I appreciate the raid more than you know. You really didn't have to. But thank you so much. What was today for you anyway? How did the Rainbow Six Siege end up going? Did you get far up the ladder in the ultimate world of Rainbow Six Siege? We are about to go into a match versus Barcelona in the Spanish final of the Super Cup. So you've come and joined at a righteous old time. A 70% win rate. Happy out to you to end up hearing that ended up happening. What, was it just a situation of you were lucky and got up against a load of noobs, or you were in particularly fine form today? How did that end up working out for you? I've gone for an orange electrolyte drink today, and it doesn't have the usual niceties that some of them end up having. How surprised were you when United confirmed Cunha? About as surprised as the fact that I am the most handsome man in this room. You know.
It's amazing how strong that song was. Music is powerful, man.
So, about that surprised. About as surprised the fact that I have succeeded in getting to 201 followers and nigh on happy until it continues to go on. I wasn't surprised a goddamn bit. I will say Cunha looks very, very good in that jersey. So fair play to him in that point of view. But happy out that it all ends up going well. Ben, my friend, what is a crack-a-lacking with you? Is the crack going good? Is it all going grand? How has your Thursday been going? Are you looking forward to the weekend? Is it all going good? Is it all going grand? Not much competition when you're the only one in the room. That's the point. Duck. I mean, yes, to be honest, it's a good signing. I think there were positions we could have gotten beforehand. I do like that we are now migrating from Gyökeres and not me leaving him as our only option and looking at the likes of Hugo or Turkey at Feyenoord, I think it is. We should be talking to other options. Leave it that Sporting ends up having a bit of spice in their step as well. But we'll see what ends up happening there. I will say it's just genuinely nice to see United doing some stuff. I do think 68 million quid is a bit too much for Gyökeres, in my particular opinion. For a 27-year-old, I wouldn't be spending it. Coming from that particular league where they've had bad experiences in the past, Darren Nunez. So we'll see what ends up happening. Show the jersey in the stream. Never seen it. If I can find it, give me a second and I'll try and I'll get it for you now. So I'll continue to end up having discussions while I'm at that, so bear with me now. Oh, shut up, Google. I've been happy about Cunha, fair enough. Looking to start a new FM save, want to build a nation. Well, what type of nation would you be considering? MLS is still a fantastic way to end up going about it. Digital Owen, how are you doing, my friend? It's a pleasure to end up chatting you after last night. How long did it end up taking you to finish the the boss after that? I'll give Digital Owen a shout out here as well. I went into their chat last night. Fantastic individual. We had a great old conversation. A bit of an anime nerd like myself as well. Definitely worth a follow for when they end up going live as well. Definitely recommend them. It took about an hour and a half, which was bonkers. Hey! At the end of the day, at least you got through it. Oh, I'm happy to do it, my friend. So, this is an image of Matthias Cunha in the jersey. The actual images of the jersey themselves are it would help if I tried to put this into the right spot in OBS. Bear with us now for a second. Okay. Do that, then crack. Gula bula. Then we go there. There, we go there, we go there. Do this, do that. Sorry now, just bear with us. The joys of doing editing midstream when you want to end up being nice and showing things off, because it never works the way you want it to, does it? We are indeed digital. So the way this save has been going at the moment, we're 10 seasons in. I have started with HSV, moved over to Crystal Palace, got relegated with Crystal Palace, moved up to the Premier League with Crystal Palace 2 seasons later, moved to Liverpool, won the Premier League and the Champions League with them and the World Cup of Portugal at the same point in time. And now I'm with Real Madrid for my 4th year and seeing how that ends up going. The joys of a good El Batista burst. So this is the jersey of Matthias Cunha. Gorgeous jersey, to be fair, but very plain for United. There isn't much to be shown within it. And that's the official way that it ends up looking. They announced Matthias Cunha in the new jersey. So, you know, it's very simplistic for the red jersey, but it's nice in of itself. I just wish they'd done a wee bit more with it, if I'm honest. What about Bruno, Nani, Ronaldo? The majority of players come from United, from Sporting will be good. Oh, I have no problem with Sporting, Skull. I just think 70 to 80 million quid in a 27-year-old is an interesting situation. And in all of them cases, they didn't have the meteoric magnifying glass that United have on them at the moment. That's a distinct problem that ends up coming. Ben, how do you end up feeling about the Cunha deal anyway? Is it the one you wanted to end up happening first? Will you be equally as happy when Mbeumo ends up getting announced? Anyways, for now, so far this season, we've had a fairly good season. Within the actual league itself, we have been in phenomenal form. 17 wins, 1 draw, no losses. In terms of our actual season, we have lost 1 game to my former club, Liverpool. We have drawn against the mighty Barcelona, who we go up against, but we have also beaten the mighty Barcelona. And our 1 draw in the actual league was to Atletico Madrid, who we bet in the Super Cup 2 days ago. So it'll be interesting to see how things end up going as we go into this contest. At some point, too, we do need to have a bit of a skim throughout all of our loaned players. There are the guts of 30 of them. And see whether or not there's any of them we need to pull back. But for now, we go into this final with hope up that we can do the double. Beat the mighty, mighty Barcelona twice in a row in the same competition. We met them in the final last season. We'll meet them in the final again this season, and we'll see how things end up going. So, Digital, yourself, are you planning on streaming again tonight? Or are you just preparing now to end up getting on your holiday? And feel free to lurk as well. You don't need to converse if you want to. No bother whatsoever. Happy to hear it. So when do you think your next stream? At 4 a.m. Happy out. The last holiday I ended up having was my trip abroad to Thailand. I ended up spending a month over there and enjoyed every moment of it. Before that, I ended up spending a week in Tenerife, where I went scuba diving and ended up loving every moment of it. So tell us, are you going anywhere exciting? Can you make the likes of us dreadful fuckers who are here dwelling in their 9-to-5s jealous at where you're going? See that guy walk away from the plane crash. I know. Whenever I'm booking a flight from now on, I'm booking 11A. I'm not booking any area but 11A. That seat that ended up surviving them there. Definitely the seat you have to go for. I mean, I would love Antonio Silva from Benfica. Problem with Antonio Silva is if you were to go for Antonio Silva now, Antonio Silva would end up costing the guts of 100 million quid, unfortunately. But I'm off to Tenerife this time round for the 3rd year anniversary. Congratulations to you, you lucky individual, for having a partner in your life. You're succeeding where most haven't. Unlike 90% of the incels on TikTok, you've done mighty well for yourself. So congratulations on that one. I hope that you end up enjoying it. Have a drink for me, my friend. But for my 30th last December, we went to Japan. I want to, at some point in my time, go to Japan. I would absolutely love to visit the spot. Honestly, it seems like such an amazing spot to go to. I'd love to end up going there at one point in time in my life. I mean, the one thing I'd end up saying about Rento Sanchez skull is he's not a Benfican player. He's a Paris Saint-Germain player that is just on loan at Benfica. So I'm not 100% sure that counts, but So top we'd go. Top we'd go closer to home for this time. Not too bad. You could say that any team, each player is good and bad. I mean, yeah, like Scott McTominay coming from United. United have a bad habit of performing crap, so, you know, it's interesting how it ends up coming up. So up, please read Silva came from Monaco. Oh, I was planned to. It was great. Well, congratulations to that. I'm happy you enjoyed it for when you were there. Enric's still not fit. I think we have to go for it. Try Junior up front, and we're going to throw Justin into the deep end. Oh, nice! What type of stuff was it? And tell me, why was it berserk? Because whenever you end up hearing anybody being an anime fan, berserk is always the thing they end up going to. Like, the amount of people on Twitch and TikTok that have the brand of sacrifice just randomly appeared within their personage. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just funny, to be honest. I mean, it depends on which berserk you're on about, because berserk is good. Berserk the anime is good. Berserk the manga is good. Berserk the light novel is good. Berserk 2016! We don't talk about Berserk 2016 here. We don't talk about that. Linus, my friend, it has been some time. What's a crack-a-lackin' with you? Don't. Digital. Don't. Just don't. Just save yourself the horrors of Berserk 2016. It is the pinnacle of bad 3D animation. The Chinese had not yet gotten to 3D animation when Berserk 2016 was made. Oh no, the first rule of the crack club is we must always have the crack. The second rule of the crack club is what crack says goes. And the third rule of the crack club is when crack says you're an ass, you're an ass. But crack is an equal opportunity ass, so everyone's an ass. The fourth rule is we don't talk about Berserk 2016. It's good, but boring with no club football. How about you? I mean, that is true. If Benny Kage was here, he'd end up lying, stating, "Oh, but the MLS is active at the moment. Everyone should be watching Miles Lewis Skelly." But you know yourself. I understand completely, Linus, that it is unfortunate not having any of it. But at least we'll soon, within the next month, start getting the tours and hearing about a wee bit of that. And that'll be the fun of it as well. I mean, yeah, the rules need to be the case, Digital, isn't it? Live by the code, die by the cord. Arseholes for one, arseholes for all. I mean, the big thing about it too is that the Americans really don't like it, and that's one of the big selling points for the Club World Cup as well. That along with the Saudi Arabians. I think there's still a chance for it to do well, but time will end up telling about that now, to be honest. But it's interesting that it's going ahead anyway, and I don't actually mind a tournament happening in between. I do think it's a bit unfair for the players because they're not getting enough time off, but they're getting paid an arm and a leg to do it anyways. So, you know, you roll with the punches and do what you have, you know? I do think the opening of the transfer window early for it is a bit nonsensical now more than anything else. I think that's the bit that ruffles my jimmies more than anything else. I don't think the transfer window should have been opened early. Now, I know that Man City, in particular, have taken colossal amounts of advantage from that. Signing 4 players in 2 weeks. Fair play to them. But I do think it's a bit daft that's been the case. I think the transfer window should be its regular time period as well for when it ends up opening up. But next week on the dot, Hambury at least have a friendly game, so something, but the Swedish league is on the 28th of June. Hey, at least it's soon enough. So, you know, there's something for you to look forward to anyway, Linus, at least in the Swedish league orientation. Hopefully a bit more fire and a bit more love ends up coming in to those leagues now as time ends up coming up as well. I think it's good that in this period of time, hopefully people end up getting into it. So we'll see how that continues to end up going. Betty Kage, my friend, what's a crack-a-lacking with you? How is your Thursday treating you? Is crack going 90? Is it all going good? Is it all going grand? Are you still in work, my friend, you poor sod? We're about to get into one of our biggest games of the season, with neither of our two strikers up front capable of actually going in it, which is in of itself a bit of a problem. But we'll see how it ends up going with Vinny up front as opposed to our normal case there. I'd say you're salivating at the idea of getting out, Benny. I would be. Think it's stupid. Open closing FIFA could just said your deadline for registration is the date. Bang. I mean, yeah. And just keep the transfer window open. Counting last season, where there was the Euros, players at top level of 3 seasons without summer break, CWC, and the World Cup. I think the average for the players, including the winter break in the Premier League, is that in 3 years, they've had 65 days off. I think that's the average. Like, not including, you know, the time period in between games, not including training, you know, all those elements that end up putting into it. Just basic time off is 65 days off. True, Benny. True, but you're also not 2 days a week running 13 kilometers consistently, you know? It is quite a hefty toll. I know it's football and it is just kicking a ball around the spot, but I do think it does need to be stated that anything physical needs to have the proper amount of breaks in between it. Otherwise, well, there's that too. Yeah, you're not making 400,000 quid a week. Although, I actually, other than Erling Haaland, don't think there's anyone in the Premier League other than him on that. I think the second most expensive paid player in the Premier League is Casemiro on 350, and then the third is Marcus Rashford on 325, and fourth is Jadon Sancho on 300. Ironically, 3 players United want to get rid of, but yeah. Yeah, I know, and they do only work, you know, technically speaking, 1 day of the year where they're actually, like, being pressurized for their work. But anything with sport is a wee bit different. Like, boxers only do, on average, 5 fights a year. No bother, Digital. Thank you so much for coming into it. It is a pleasure to have you. I will definitely be into your chat again in the future. I love the fact that you end up coming in. I hope the holiday is absolutely fabulous. Ensure you have a pint for me as well. And if you don't end up coming back before I end up finishing up the stream at all, I'll give you the ending that we normally do, my friend. So the ending that we normally do is this. Make sure your crack is 90. Schlongafol, as always, Pog Mahone. But lurk away and just enjoy the crack. I'm not against the argument for the fixture congestion. I absolutely agree. It's awful. Yeah, Pog Mahone. I love that statement so much. Of course, along with Pog Mahone, there's also another statement on this chat that's beautiful as well, and that statement is none other than this. Oh, we've gotten ourselves a bog. We've gotten ourselves an arsehole. Does one of the moderators want to do it, or will I do it? Thank you, Duck. Club World Cup has apparently only sold 20,000 tickets for a 60,000 seat arena in Miami's first game. I would be suspect about that. I'd say it'll end up increasing quite a lot on the day. But yeah. Enter, my friend. What's a crack-a-lackin' with you? How is your Thursday treating you? Are you excited for the weekend now? And obviously not the incredibly bad actor slash musician The Weekend. I just mean, you know, the Friday to Monday period of time. They've announced the ICE will be at the game. ICE will be at the game, Jay. Oh no, Benny. Everyone will end up running away. California will close down. That's a very bad joke. It hasn't actually been that bad, Enter. I've been working away, enjoying the crack, trying to just, work on myself. Plenty of time in the gym, plenty of time just relaxing, doing a bit more meditation, would you believe? I've gotten into the breathing type of stuff like that. And unfortunately, I've started reading a book. And the book is How to Prepare pre-med meals, you know, in order to be better at my food management. And then my lazy arse won't bother to buy the preparations in order to do pre-made meals. So, yeah. Are you streaming yourself tonight, Enter? Or have you already started streaming? Because also, by the way, for anyone that hasn't done so, I shall do so right now. I will find a way at some point in time, if I can, to merge these two commands. I'm sure there is, but at the end of the day, that is future Crack's problem. So please do give Enter a follow as well. Absolutely fantastic streamer, worth his weight in gold. Invited me to the streamer challenge that we ended up doing. Good, but Crack is playing a lot of FC 25 to his poor soul, and genuinely sound man. So, yeah. Oh, not too bad. I'm over here in Sligo, or the western side of Ireland, where the weather is rainy and mixed. I think the concept of the CWC, I think it's cool to have one. I just think 5 of the Champions League finish. 5 of the Champions League finish between April and May. You just make the CWC 8 clubs, previous champions, 6 Champions League winners, league winning team from the current FIFA World Cup winning country, 3 group stage games, 2 semi-finals. You got 5 games max. Yeah, sure. Enter. Give me a message when you're playing Among Us, and I'll happily end up joining you. I should say that again after the advertisement. But, for anyone coming in to TikTok as well, or other platforms, the reason why we're doing an advertisement here is Twitch and its wonderful sensibilities has the capability to allow you to stop pre-rolls. So what can typically end up happening on Twitch is that someone will come onto your stream and basically it will inundate them with multiple wallops of ads, 2 or 3 at a go. So So by doing an advertisement break every now and again, it basically stops that from happening. So that's the reason why this ends up happening. But yeah, Enter, let me know. And if I'm still active, I'll end up doing it. I have a cutoff of about 12:30. That's the latest I can go tonight. But I'll join you for a bit if I can. No bother, Linus. Enjoy your food. Anyways, I'm 35 minutes into the stream. And I might as well start this match now. So we're going to watch this match, considering this is one of the important ones, and we'll see how we end up doing. We have ourselves set up in an okay formation, although we do need to be cautious. Barcelona are an incredibly strong team. We're in white, Barcelona are in the red and blue, and we'll see how we end up doing. We have their number in most instances, with a draw and a win versus them already this season. However, it would be us to capitulate in this type of game. Warren Zemery trying his best there to end up causing a problem. Apple user, thank you so much for the follow. I genuinely appreciate it. And thank you so much for the likes as well. It's a pleasure to end up having you. Should be on before 12:30. But no bother, my friend. If you are, I will happily end up joining you for a bit and playing a bit of that now. So, Justin is brand new. He is a player we signed for Liverpool, but to be fair, for the position that he's at there, he's one of the best supporters. He won't be a main player for us, and a 25 being an impact sub is a bit galling, especially considering we kind of need to make room for him, so we do need to sell a player in order to do it, but who cares, we have scored. This is my sign to get back into FM24, can't wait. I don't blame you at all, Apple. Come in and enjoy the crack, end up having the fun, have a incredibly good intercepted cross put in, and a barker of a header brought in by Jude Bellingham to put yourself in the lead 2 minutes into the game against the monsters of Spain in the final of the Super Cup. You know, these are the moments you live for. But what type of saves have you done yourself in FM? This is the longest save I've done myself, 10 years at it now myself, and then my goalkeeper, let's not go in, crikey. If Roman Lavia could only perform like that for Chelsea, legitimately. I think there is a player in Roman Lavia, I must admit. I genuinely think there's a player in Roman Lavia. Now it helps when your goalkeeper performs that bad. But I hope he gets over his injuries and actually starts to perform again. I do hope there are actual fans at the CWC. Hope some Europeans to show how how it's done. I mean, it's a bit different because Americans won't get this type of football too often. They'll have the American reaction to seeing some of the players over there. So they will be as giddy as some of the Americans are. So, Duck, you're an absolute troll. So, you know, well, yes, that's the other problem. But you price everything out of the bloody woodworks. Like, I heard that the average Super Bowl price was almost £1,000 as well. Penalty, which means Bellingham is going to end up taking it. I started a musical challenge today. Oh my god, that's terrifying. What musical challenge did you end up doing, and why had it anything to do with Action Tamaran? Oh no, it's Guller. Oh, and you useless sack of monkey's crap. Oh no. That'll come. I know for a fact that'll come back and bite me in the arse. Listen to one album a week. To be honest, that's not a bad challenge. That's a very good challenge to end up doing. I need to start listening to more music as well. I'm horrible when it comes down to the name of artists and stuff like that. I want to start at some point in time when I actually get some editing credentials behind me. Watch at least one movie a week. One 13 episode anime a month. And potentially read a book every now and again and do reviews of it on the YouTube channel. That'll be Future Crack's problem when some editing is actually done of capable abilities. But I'd love to start doing that type of stuff. So I'm going to nick that website, Benny, so that I can keep an account of stuff like that as well. I wouldn't be an amazing musician, but I'd love to end up doing it at some point in time. Yeah, the American way is to overcharge, unfortunately. It's like if the US played a basketball game here, LeBron would not be happy with things said to him. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that one, Up. Are you trying to say that Europe is racist to the likes of LeBron James or something like that? I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that. Although I will say it is the first time in, 20 years that the American basketball team for the world stage doesn't have a megastar on it, which is interesting. I heard someone on it, but I don't follow basketball, so I don't know. Maybe Benny would end up letting me know. But it's the first time where they don't have the equivalent of a Galáctico on their basketball team. A decent lower seat at a baseball game. We're talking like halfway down the first or the third is €70 ticket. They play 81 home games a year. Yeah, and unfortunately that's starting to become the case in English football as well. Like the average price for just a football game in England is the guts of €61 as well on the Premier League side. So the price is just going to start increasing on everything. Like, to be honest, WWE coming to the Tree Arena in Dublin and charging on average €316 a ticket is a goddamn joke. Goddamn joke, to be honest. But unfortunately, if you want to see what you end up loving, you have to pay the excess. What's the error message? I have completely missed what you're on about when it comes down to the error message, so you're going to need to give me a slight bit more information if that's okay, Duck. I missed it. Like, fans here are more brutal, not racist. I mean, that would be the thing. Well, there is a bit of... Well, I think the word racism is used a wee bit too harshly, in the same way as phobia is attached to the end of certain things a wee bit too much. Because you can just be an asshole or be a dry shite and it not be racist. Like, there's been some jokes made on Wayne Rooney about shagging grannies that isn't ageist. That's just Wayne Rooney shagged a granny, so now we're going to be really, really, really harsh to Wayne Rooney about shagging grannies. Yes, some of them could be ingrained in racism, and that's something that needs to be discussed. But I think in general, people are a wee bit too quick to use those hard elements of statements. But maybe that's me being a wee bit too, hopeful that the humanity has some elements of, containment or, not being arseholes. Like, a brutal chant over there is "you suck," and here it's not quite the same. I mean, just start playing Kurt Angle's song and just go, "You suck, you suck, you suck." I mean, yeah, the Error 503 service was happening there for Stream Elements as well, so it's not just on Twitch's side. A couple of APIs are going down as well. Stream Elements was down, Twitch seems to be down. Maybe it's the fact that they ended up making Tectone a Twitch partner. Maybe that's what caused the site to end up breaking. The algorithm couldn't handle Tectone and its 3.7 million views on Kick. But obviously bought it. Becoming a Twitch partner. He's the Pulisic of basketball. It's like, that's very mean. English Prem prices are outrageous. They are, to be honest. For the Union ticket is €37. I don't mind that. Like, my local electricity team here, the ticket is £20. Now, unfortunately, they're so crap at the moment, it's not worth paying it. But I don't mind paying £20 to go and see something like that, Shows on the stream, middle top right of the FM bit. It's not for me, so maybe you just need to reload it, Duck, but apologies about that. Can't call someone a fat bastard in the MLS, I assume. I don't know. I've heard many people call Miles Lewis-Skelly a fat bastard. I think you're just projecting there up. But that could be me. Guyzo is down. I mean, fair enough. Services temporarily
off.
I don't know what
It's a direction you can fuck.
I'm not going to go through all of my sources to figure out which one that is, so it's just going to stay on the stream at the moment. I hope it isn't too annoying, because I'm noticing it now. I need to do a censored version of that for TikTok and the other streams, but yeah, nothing like a fat Miles Lewis-Skelly. Make everyone happy. Stream Elements has a link to the Twitch API, so it's residual. Happy out. More information you need to know. Just deal with it for today. Yeah, I think so. Bayern's season ticket model is good, €150 for season ticket, I think. I think it's more than that, but then again, Bayern is 50% owned by the fans, so the fans kind of orientate what it goes around about. And to be fair, the German government isn't completely inept. I mean, they're inept, but they're not completely inept, and actually force the Football Association to have competent prices for the fans, since football is a fan sport, and the German government believes in that, which is the reason why they end up putting in so much funding into it. Yeah, that's kind of the thing for now. We'll see. It's one of the sad things about Angela Merkel leaving that bloody spot. The guys that replaced her are nowhere near as competent as she was. Unfortunately, we have to play a couple of youths. 2 people injured is annoying. But we have to replace the 2 injured people and hope that it ends up making us perform a wee bit better. But I mean, that can be said about everywhere in the world, unfortunately, as well, is just that they're inept in the way that they end up going about it. Like, I know very little about the British at the moment, but they seem to have gotten a bit of... Is Bellingham off injured too? Football is a working class sport, should stay that way. It should stay that way. But the history around football has been skewed an incredible amount as well. Because keep in mind, and this is one of the reasons why people... Christ, Vinny. Oh my God, Vinny. Oh my God, Vinny. You were one-on-one with the goalkeeper. How did you miss that? I mean, yeah. Well, technically speaking, in terms of the world, wrestling was the first approachable sport. Like WWE-style wrestling, professional wrestling, since it's been around since the 1840s, and literally was a carnival attraction for people to pay pittance to do it. But you're right, Benny, all sports should be accessible like that. The big thing with football is history ends up repeating itself. Like, during the World War, there was 80,000 people in Wembley supporting female football. And as a result of which people are turning around saying that female football can never reach that heights again. That's a load of horse manure. But at the same point in time, stating that female football is at the same level of male's football currently is just not true. Can it get there? Who knows? That's up to them to end up developing it to get there. It's not there at the moment, but it's not that it can't be there. It's been proven that it can. So, there's loads of lies stated when it comes down to the sports. People will turn around and say because of the wage profile and with what people are getting paid now that it's unfeasible for it to continue on that way. But you're the ones who invented the pay structure. Just stop paying people the wage. Now, that'll kill certain clubs for the time being, but it would take, like, the Premier League putting in a pay cap of 150,000 quid or something like that. That is a horrible, horrible, horrible goal to let in. Is it counting? Thank God. I think it can be. I think it can be as big because there's a limit to how big male football can be. I think you will have finals, and you're already starting to see it, finals in Wembley with Wembley sold out. Wembley this year for the FA Cup final had 60,000 people in it. Whether or not that's the big thing at the moment, though. The players aren't at the level, and that's where the lie ends up coming into place. If you're like the American bimbo whose name I always forget, Benny, can you tell me her name without me having to search it up? Monroe or whatever her name was. Let me check her up. USA American woman footballer. I love how typically if I just search that up, it comes up with her. No, this time it didn't. Okay, so they either have washed out the they've either washed out the saves on Google, or she's not there anymore. What the hell is her name? Not her. Yeah, Megan Rapone. That one. Megan Rapone. Yeah, Rapone. So long as you don't have people in women's football acting like Rapone and just turning around stating that at the moment we're currently at the same level, that'll just piss people off, you know? Like, her statement turns around and says, we're the top of our division, we deserve to be paid like we're the top of the division. That's 100% fair statement. But her statement to say, because we're the top of the division, we deserve to be paid the same as the men, when the Women's World Cup made 4 million quid and the Men's World Cup made 40 billion. Yeah. That's not being mean. That's just a certifiable fact. Increase the profitability of your league and you'll get paid more, you know? But I genuinely think the sport can do phenomenally well, and I think it's starting to get that way. An awful lot more investment needs to be put into it, and that's why it is a joke that I don't like Chelsea Football Club, and I know multiple people in here don't like Chelsea Football Club. I don't like the fact that Chelsea Football Club sold the women's team to themselves, but to be fair, on the other side, Chelsea Football Club have put quite a substantial amount of investment into their women's team, most of it through Abramovich, but they have done that. United, to be fair to them, have done a fair amount of development on their women's team, you know? PSG do it, Real Madrid do it, Barcelona do it, so let's continue to see that happen, and in 5-10 years' time, we'll see what ends up happening, you know? And I think it can end up going there. To be accepting, regardless I agree or disagree with the sentiment. I don't think it's a good term to be accepting. Yeah. I don't think it's a good term to be accepting. Which term? Have I just missed what term I stated that isn't good to be accepting, or could I just ask that, Benny? I know this is the problem with going back to chats. I do, and the reason why I do is because even for some of these leagues in the world, even the 10k that the nation will end up getting being in the World Cup will do phenomenal work at developing the league. So I do simply for that reason. It's doing well at grassroots to some extent, and that's beautiful to see as well. And thankfully, it's expanding a good bit more as well. AK, it's a pleasure to see you again, my friend. What's a crack-a-lackin'? How is your Thursday treating you? It's a pleasure to have you back in, my friend. I absolutely love your glitch con emote. That little dinosaur in the corner there is absolutely gorgeous, and I wish I had it. But how are you doing on this fine Thursday, my friend? And thank you for joining us. We'll just be like cricket scores. I know absolutely nothing about cricket, so I can't comment on it, unfortunately, my friend. United didn't have one for yonks, to be honest. The women's team, yeah, but an awful lot of teams didn't. There's an awful lot of teams in England that literally just have their women's team set up in the last 10 years. To be fair to United, they don't put near as much into it as they should, but they have one of the highest wage bills. I know, United. One of the highest wage bills in women's football, and to be fair to them, have developed up the training grounds. Now, they need to do an awful lot more work about that. I liked the idea that Old Trafford was going to be kept as a mausoleum to the old stadium and just kept good enough with a 30,000 seat arena capacity for the women to end up using. That ain't happening, they're tearing it down. But that was one of the ideas that was originally being proposed by United, and I liked that idea because I like the idea of United being kept as a mausoleum. If you're not going to use Old Trafford, mausoleum the fucker. But that has to happen for sports to grow. Yeah. The one I denied in the chat, crack. Fair enough. The automata mod I denied. Oh, okay, fair enough. People like any Alcoco don't help. There's a ton of people that don't help. That Hillock, what's his name? Joey Barton doesn't help. Like, in what he says too, like, you know, I understand in principle some of the areas that Joey Barton's going about it, the direction and the forcefulness and how he's going about it isn't the right way to do it. Why is that broke? Hold the phone. Why is that broke? Oh, god damn it. Crap. I might drop for a second. Something's after breaking here. I will be right back. Just bear with me. Unfortunately. I hate that. I had a good number of people here, and then it ended up breaking on me. And my deepest apologies about that, everyone. Stream ended up breaking on me, so I have to restart. So there'll be an ad coming on the whole lot as well. I was hoping I'd catch it in time, but it did end up breaking on me, unfortunately. So we'll just wait a moment for it to end up coming through, and hopefully all will be grand. Okay, so I look at the chats and what was said there. So it has to happen sport. I do, yep. The automat I denied. People like any Alku don't help. I don't actually know who that is. So bear with me 1 second while I search them up. I mean, I don't mind her. I don't like. You're innocent till proven guilty. I don't know what happened with her and Ian Wright. So maybe something ended up happening there, but I don't know. Tomo, what's a crack-a-lackin' with you? By the way, I didn't ask you before. Do you like being called Tomo, or is there a different name I want to end up calling you? But it's a pleasure to end up chatting with you, my friend. How's the crack going? Is it all going well? Is your Thursday going good? It's a pleasure to end up having you, my friend. Yeah. Going class, 2 more exams to go on. I got the job offer today. Congratulations, AK. I hope the 2 last exams end up going great for you. Please let me know when they do. I'll be praying for you here in the back corner, hoping that it ends up going well. So please do let me know when they end up going good. Not if they go good, when they go good. People don't understand that you bring in these nations, even if they're going to be smoked by big countries, because it might spark the desire to back, pretty much. And it gets a route for something to end up happening. And even more, it gets the route for some of the players to be scouted and brought over via the local independent teams as well, that end up spotting a player they mightn't have seen before, where their scouts just missed them as well. Blatant racism and stereotypes because she no longer gets a job in the field. What a moron. I didn't see that about her now. I know she did claim that the fact that she was an African-American woman is the reason why she lost her job, but I don't know. I didn't read enough into it now, and I know it was Ian Wright. I think it was Ian Wright, am I correct? That she ended up having the argument with. But he didn't comment on it, and she was the only one really making anything about it, so I haven't enough in it to understand much about it. So I'll leave it to the wayside for the moment, and I might search up more about it in the future. We had a St. Lucian win the women's 200-meter race. That doesn't happen if you don't give them a guarantee. Yeah, fair enough. Beautiful. The women are getting Old Trafford. I don't think they are, Skull. I don't think they are. I think Old Trafford is getting 100% taken down. I would love if they were, but I don't think they are. Richarlison has 16 goals in 40 games for Brazil, averaging a goal every game. But that's the situation as well, where some people are just monsters for their international squad, and not exactly brilliant for their regular team. Like Robbie Keane will always be a Tottenham legend. But Robbie Keane was far better for Ireland than he was for Tottenham, you know? And anyone who says that's just lying. Anyone who says otherwise is just lying. I love Robbie Keane, but anyone that says that he was better for Tottenham than he was for Ireland is just lying. He wasn't. In terms of a striker for Tottenham, he actually wasn't that good. Maybe that's going to start a bloody civil war. Joey Barton is a sausage. He is indeed. We are indeed back. Hip hip hooray. Everyone refresh. The error message is gone too, by the way. Brilliant. At least some of it worked. Said Ian Wright is keeping jobs away from women as he commented on women's sports, except Ian Wright is heavily invested in... Yeah, that's what I thought. Thursday's been very good. Pleasure to hear, Tomo. Yeah, Tomo. What have you been up to on your Thursday? Has it it's great to hear that it's going good. I love that. I love that everyone is enjoying themselves. The same with myself, although I am highly looking forward to the weekend because I plan on doing a 5K elevated climb, which technically it's a mountain, but we won't end up going over semantics. And I plan on doing that. I plan on walking around. And Thomas Frank is the new Spurs manager. So, if, ands, buts, and happiness. Come on, let's see you lose already so I can do my special song. Man, with the speed I end up doing, I ain't losing. Plenty of women footballers who comment on the English men's game, to be frank, talking nonsense. I mean, to be fair, there's many people in general that talk nonsense about the English football team. Like the fact that the squad that they end up picking isn't just deplorable shite. I mean, they're still a huge minority, but I do agree with you. I haven't seen any of her tweets now, so I can't comment. West Ham usually have one on BBC Radio London, and I think she's quite good. Happy to hear. I mean, there's loads of women that are in the vicinity of football that end up doing well. To talk about the United Stand again, because I end up watching a bit of it. Beth in the United Stand, other than the fact that she has a voice that, with the wrong microphone setup, sounds atrocious. She does phenomenal work on the whole lot and is very, very good at the stuff that she ends up doing. And Alex Scott is fantastic when it comes down to punditry in football, I think. The way she puts together that Champions League development is fantastic. Yeah, it's happy to be back, AK. It's working for you again, Duck, so you finally got your check-in. I can't do anything fun over the weekend. I have so much job offer stuff to sort out. Hey, at least you have it. At least you have it. Take the positives out, take the negatives out of the situation. It's one weekend for a fantastic situation you end up having for the rest of it. And I will just be laughing in the corner knowing that I am free to do my own stuff on the weekend. And who knows, I might be having more time to just interact with you in the near future when things end up going iffy for myself as well. But hey, the crack will end up being sound anyway. Almost put curry everywhere. Should I ask why? Anyway, I think I have been stalling for too long. Me taking a crash of the stream in 15 minutes at halftime. We should continue on and finish the match versus Barcelona. So wish us some luck. Happy out. Hey, look at the positives for it. The one thing I would turn around, and I don't know, you'll know yourself on this situation. I am not a financial advisor. 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 But I have had multiple people turn around and say this. Typically Americans, so it might be different over here in the UK and Ireland, but whenever you end up getting a contract offer for any job you end up doing, always ask for 5K more. The most that can end up happening is they'll say no. Typically, they don't retract the contract offer, and it just puts you up for a better situation. That's what I have always been told to do. I have always done it. Oscar scored the goal. Oh, penalty. Penalty. Now, Ardguller is off of the pitch, so he can't take it. Who is our penalty taker? It's Jude. Yes, we leave it as Jude. There's 10 people here. I will make my decision if I don't get more than 3 people. Supposedly 10 people. If I don't get more than 3 people answering this, I will pick my decision myself, but... There we go. There's a poll up there. I'll give you 1 minute. Depending on what ye decide, what ye end up saying to me, then I'll end up doing it. I'm not really negotiable, and I'm just happy to give me the job. I'm not going to ask for... Hey! You understand yourself, AK? I'm just saying what has been told to me. For your first position, you're probably better taking it to get out of the gate. You don't want to end up putting too much wiggle room on the start of it, but it is something that I have always been told. So, just go about it yourself. Take every situation by ear. You know yourself, the situation to it, and just be happy that you have it at the end of the day. And I'm happy that you've ended up getting the offer anyway, and I hope that all of it ends up going exactly as you planned for it to do, my friend. Genuinely, I do. There's nothing wrong with that. I know there's a big negativity towards living at home, especially in the West. But it's not actually the worst thing in the world to be living at home. So don't worry about it too much. Well, with 5 people ended up doing it, and a 60% 3-2 on the goalkeeper, we'll make the goalkeeper do the pen. And Duck, you make the weirdest accounts in the world. Anti-Pulisic RTG Force 1. That is a beautiful name. Honestly, that's better than Crazed Quack of, what's your regular name? Crazed God of the Quack. That's actually a better name than Crazed God of the Quack, to be honest, Duck. But yes, we'll let the goalkeeper take it, so. Let's see if Jason can end up scoring. Well, Duck Lord of the Quack wasn't available yet, so he wasn't able to give it back yet. Problem with this is Jason is diabolical at penalties, but a promise is a promise. By the way, if you cost me, Skull, the championship off of this particular decision, I don't know what I'm going to do to you. Well, we'll find out in a second. With a 4 and a penalty and a composure of 16, we're going to find out in a second. Wish us luck. Wish us luck. Cross your fingers and your toes. Wait until you see it's not a penalty. Oh no, it is a penalty. Okay. Cross your fingers and your toes. Cross your fingers and your toes. Imagine if they counter-attacked and scored. Jason O'Connor! Beautiful! Jason O'Connor! I mean, Bart Vandenberg definitely should have saved that. Definitely should have saved that. But at the end of the day, that is a situation where this needs to be used. Yeah, Tim Howard situation, Benny, isn't it? God, I every now and again I go back and I watch that Tim Howard goal. That Tim Howard goal where he shoots it just from his box and goes straight into the net is such a picture-perfect goal. Honestly, it's one of my favorite goals of all time. If you don't know the goal I'm on about, I'll show it to you after this game. That's one of my favorite goals of all time. That Tim Howard goal. I don't know if he did. I haven't seen it. But the Tim Howard goal is just a special goal in my heart. It's a goal I will forever and ever love. Of all
times, Doug, when they're in the height of the game versus Barcelona, I think it's one of, if not the longest goals ever scored. Well, Tim Howard has to be there. When there's an argument on who is taking the pen, and the goalkeeper stays.
Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
That's a very beautiful blurb. It was the Guinness World Book of Records at a time happy out. I like the Guinness World Book of Records anyway, so it's nice to see that it's doing somewhat good for itself. By the way, for all of you wondering what this voice is currently called, this voice is currently called... Thanks, Karasu. You attack the crack and follow us whilst I'm using this voice. You have a type, my friend. But thank you so much for the follow. I genuinely appreciate it. How is your day going? How is your Thursday? Is the crack at 90? Is it all going good? I'm currently looking for the actual voice itself so that I can save this for the future. So bear with me.
Coolaboola, and now we go back to the regular one. Oh, yeah, get rid of that. Cool. But pleasure to be back. Pleasure to end up having you. Thank you so much for the follow, by the way. I genuinely appreciate it. It's a pleasure to end up having you, my friend. What is the keeper's rating now that he scored the pen? 7.1, surprisingly enough, AK. You'd expect it to be slightly higher, wouldn't you? Bart Vandenberg has a better rating than me, or at least he did. We'll see later on whether or not he still does. We still have another 35 minutes of this game, so anything can happen yet. Barcelona definitely can come back into it, but we're doing well so far. Crack voice. I mean, I might end up creating a crack voice later on, so I'll go into it and see what ends up happening there. Not bad, just chilling, cleaning, and doing stuff. I popped in from Pizza Party. Well, a pleasure to end up having you, my friend. If it makes you feel any better, you're the second person to end up coming from Pizza Party. It's an absolute pleasure to end up having you. With that being the case, I suppose you end up streaming yourself. What would you normally end up streaming when you end up streaming yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a bit of a sentence structure of what you are. And we'll end up letting the audience members know, or the community end up knowing who and what you end up doing. Go on, give us a short sentence of what you end up doing, my friend. Let's all spread the love. It's nice to try to continue to spread and expand and just enjoy the crack. I put you on the spot now, my friend. Sorry about that. God, Barca are actually starting to press us a bit, which is a bit of a problem as well. But hopefully we can end up containing it. I will say it's funny watching Barca in the last 2 years make a couple of really odd transfer decisions. Some of their transfer decisions have ultimately led to the fact that they are in this position here, because they crack, get your words together. I can't get my words together at all. They weakened their team, surprisingly, by selling a couple of really good players. Now, they're trying to get Ibrahim Konate in as well. Now, he's 30, but he'd be fantastic for the defensive lineup. Like, Ariel, one of the players they have there, is a 30-year-old, not good enough for their team, and their main strikers have to go down injured. That's interesting. Okay. So, let's pause for a second. I stream horror games mostly. I like to have an interactive chat that redeems the jump scares and such. I'm on almost daily from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. CST. I have no idea where that is, fair play to you. Come, have fun, and scare me. King, no wonder you've come into my chat. Look at this face. Look at this face. It's the thing of nightmares. It's the thing that scares the life out of people. Yeah, I might have cracked it. I might have cracked a screw loose earlier in my life. But a pleasure to end up having you. I'm a massive fan of horror streamers in and myself. I'd say you must absolutely love Phantasmaphobia, or however you pronounce that game. And if you want to play the most scary thing of all time, do VR Among Us. Midwest United States. Well, congratulations to you. Benekage, our friend here, is a United States streamer himself. So, you know, ends up having the love there as well. So we'll give you a shout out. if that sounds like it ends up appealing to you, this is one of the moments where I kind of wish I had the clip segment set up for this instead of the little sting. But at the same point in time, who knows, I might end up changing over to it at some point in time and end up doing that. It'll be a new one to me soon, but I love DBD. I'm trying to get the clips set up now. Hey! Chance where you go and continue on there. Oh, Warhammer Darktide. How did you find playing that? I've recently started to delve into the Warhammer series myself. I haven't actually gotten much into it, but I've recently started this. One of the previous streams was Warhammer Vermintide 2. I might be doing that again later on with Doom, if he feels so inclined to end up doing it. But pleasure, absolute pleasure to end up continuing at it, and an absolute joy to hear that you're doing it. Are you doing anything special with your clips, or just trying to just enjoy it and set it up for a bit of fun like that? Tell us a wee bit about your OCs if you want. You don't have to. Obviously, you can just chill in the background either. It'll be my first time playing today. Talked me into getting it. Okay, fair enough. Happy out. And will you be playing it alongside them, or is it a solo game yourself that you ended up playing with it, or how are you going about it, my friend? Kunde being on the wing is an interesting decision for them too. Now, we should have control of this game. Derby being on our wing is actually a weakness, funnily enough, even though he's doing good crossing and the whole lot. It might finally be time for us to make some changes as well. Do we take the risk with Enric? What was that pass, Seller? Do we take the risk with Enric and play him, even though he's not 100% fit? I hate playing players when they're not 100% fit, when they still have the fitness tag on them, because it means they're more easy to get injured. But legitimately, it might be time. Vinny isn't playing good enough, so we might need to make that decision. Marco hasn't been playing good enough either, to be fair. Just how to get the clip shout-out thing set up. Oh, you mean this? Oh, the one I'm using here is Scene GG shoutout. Benikage, our friend there, ended up using it as well. It's a good little system there. It has different shoutouts that end up coming down to it. You attach it to your Twitch stream, and it ends up working that way. You can end up setting it for multiple types of things. That way, there is an option for it to showcase recent clips that people have ended up doing. It's not for everyone. If you're doing a horror stream, it mightn't be the best thing to end up doing because it might destroy the atmosphere of your stream. But to each their own. It's Scene GG, if that's what you're looking for anyway. And you can end up looking to see how that is the case. And I'm happy to end up doing it. The crack is always 90. I'm always up for the conversations with anyone. Please, if there's anyone else you recommend coming into the chat, bring it around. I'm more than happy to bring people in, more than happy to talk, more than happy to shoot the crap. It's a joy to end up having anyone in where we can discuss anything and everything. The crack is always free-flowing and 90 here. So please feel free to come in whenever you want to, my friend. We'll try Marco here instead and hope that this might end up performing a wee bit better. Warren Emery is too good, so we're not going to make the fifth change yet. So we'll just go with this and see. Then we might end up doing the fifth one. No bother. There have been multiple options. We used to use one called Shout Me Out as well, which was fantastic, but Twitch ended up banning it. And then there's loads of streamers online that end up doing variants of it as well, that set up their own variant of it for getting clips and the whole lot. But that's the one I end up using, and thanks to Benikage, who ended up linking it onto me. So feel free to use it if you want to, King. And I hope the stream ends up going great for you. Ooh, I hate when this many of the defenders have cards. Anzu, get up. We know you're not injured. I love when the fake injuring like that. Oh, I know for some of you this will be a disappointment because I'm talking about wrestling stuff again. It's been confirmed there that Bianca Belair is going to miss Evolution 2. That's a damn shame. Darwin Núñez is pretty much confirmed to be going to Saudi Arabia as well, so that's an interesting kettle of fish. I wonder which Saudi club's going to come in for him. Oscar! Oh, beautiful. And to think we were thinking about taking Oscar off. Well, no, Oscar was one of the subs that came on for Ard. Marco to Foston. Foston with a beautiful skinned pass in and a single touch under Bart's legs. Absolutely beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. Baldy now. Baldy is always a danger because he ends up setting it up weird to me. You know you need to put the exclamation part, Duck, otherwise it won't work for you. But just putting watch time isn't enough for you, my friend. You should know better. You've been on Twitch long enough to know. Yes, I'm a troll. Yes, I'm an absolute troll. Don't worry about it, I know. When Taro Vega sends a message to Juventus fans, it's an absolute pleasure and honour to represent this huge club. Thanks a lot, Fino, all fine. He's returned to Chelsea, but has been left out of the CFC squad for the UCL. That's hilarious. Poor bastard. That probably broke for you there. Give us a second, King, and I'll whisper it to you. That. Yeah, I'd say that what ended up happening there is because of the .gg at the end of it, it ended up counting it out because people aren't allowed to send links in the chat, just in case, you know yourself. Unless you're moderated, I don't let people send links just in case. I don't know if you do that, but it's safer. But if you want to, by the way, feel free to join the Discord as well to know when I end up coming live again in the future. It's nothing as fancy as pizza parties or anything like that, but there is a stream advertising section, so you can let us know whenever your stream is active, and hopefully it'll continue to end up growing. So feel free to end up joining that too if you want to. It's up there as one of the links in the pinned section. Mine isn't either, lol, but people is a little intimidating, to be honest. Oh yeah, no, I understand that completely. When I ever have power, it is really safe. Don't know about that, Duck. You have been timed out a few times for your abuse of said power. So, remember that there is only one true lord of this chat, and it is moi. It is Senior Craic. I am your god, and you need to remember it. Pray to me, but remember I shan't be listening. I love that word too, shan't. There is something to be said about old school Victorian Shakespearean language. Like twas. Twas is one of my favourite words, and tis. Tis and twas is and thus are some of my favourite words. There's absolutely zero reason to use them in modern vernacular. God damn it, Ricardo Espadán. But I use thus so much, it's not even funny. Good. Offside. Beautiful. Fantastic that he's offside. But yeah, we'll continue at this now. We pretty much are guaranteed to have a back-to-back win of the Spanish Super Cup. Now, what's really funny about this is I can almost guarantee, because the game tends to like to fix it in this formation, I can almost guarantee that our opponents in the actual Spanish Cup, in the final, should we make it to the final, which we will. I say that, but we should. Is the actual opponents that we should end up facing is, of course, Barcelona in the final. Because for some reason, the game likes to fix, and I don't know if this is the case in real life, likes to fix the Spanish Cup, like the actual Spanish Cup, so that Barcelona and Real Madrid are on complete separate sides of the equation and pretty much only meet in the semi-final or the final. Oh, actually, there's something I just remembered about there, and I haven't a clue. I have yet to do my proper inlay of investigation, so bear with me and take it with a grain of salt. Southampton have a 16-year-old player. I cannot for the life of me remember his name, but supposedly it's just been confirmed that United are after signing him. He was a former Manchester City Academy prospect. Arsenal were potentially trying to end up signing him there as well. Technically speaking, even though he's not because he's an academy signing, so it goes under Manchester United under 18s. But technically speaking, he's our second signing of the summer. I need to do a wee bit more investigation to actually see that it's true. He's meant to have a great amount of potential. People are saying that he's up there with Diego Leon, or however you pronounce him, the left back that we ended up signing that's coming in this summer as well. I like that we're developing the academy. They might never end up being anything, the same way as Ethan Wheatley is probably dead and buried now as a United player at 22 years of age and a striker, having no indications that he's anywhere near the main squad. But it's still great to see youths being developed there. Like, if we could get even two Adrian Heavens that just look, or Obi, I know both of them are Arsenals, but or Alejandro Garnachos, I know it was Atletico Madrid, but still, if we could get them into the place, it's what I'd like to end up seeing. Also, we pause for advertisements here, so we'll just wait for that to end up going ahead now. Pete Chow's going long today. I don't know if any of you are into Pokemon content, but I definitely recommend watching Pokemon Challenges, or Pete Chow as he has his name changed to now. Does phenomenal Pokemon content. At the moment he's doing a Drayano gauntlet, where he goes through 4 different Drayano games and Nuzlocks them all in a row. If he loses on any of them, he has to reset. Honestly, fascinating content to end up watching. At some point in time, I might do an attempt at football content again. If Linus is still here, Linus will remember my one attempt at doing Pokemon Red and the absolute aping disaster that was that. But you do what you can. Well, Senior Crack, what's a crack-a-lackin' with you, my friend? How is life treating you? Is all going good? Is all going grand? So which one of your alt accounts this time, Duck, is this that you've changed the name to Senior Crack on? Which one was this previously, if you don't mind me asking? One of the things I love about Senior, by the way, is Senior, for me, whenever I end up hearing it, reminds me immediately of Kim Possible and my favorite set of seniors in the world. Senior, and Senior, Senior Junior. The best seniors in the world. And to keep in mind that Senior had a father, which means Senior's father was Senior. So, and his grandfather then would be Senior. which would then unfortunately end up making his grandfather senior, junior, which would then make senior, junior, and would then end up making senior, junior into senior, junior. So if senior junior ended up having a son, then it would be senior, junior. You know? Yes, yeah. That's the type of crap I end up thinking about on a daily basis, by the way. It's the type of crap I end up thinking about on a daily basis. Anyway, we are about 5 minutes away from winning the Super Cup final. So let's see how we end up doing. Barcelona have ultimately turned out to be lesser, thankfully, in the majority of the competition today. So we'll make our one final... You weren't a fan of my explanation of the senior heritage in Kim Possible, were you not, Duck? I've never actually met anyone that for many generations has called their children the same name. In our family, it was a thing up until my generation. It's still kind of a thing. Where they ended up doing it. The good thing about the Irish is I know an awful lot of families that in the 200 years since we were conquered by England, they have done a bit of a joke on it and have taken the literal English translation of the Irish name and alternated between the Irish and the English. It's like one name in Irish that translates into English is the name Seamus. If you've ever heard the name Seamus in English means James. I know a couple of families that have the father named James and the grandfather named Seamus and the grandfather's father named James. So they went James, Seamus, and alternated like that in order to keep the seniority within the name consistently being used. It's typically within the firstborn too, but just interesting. They are an actual animal too, naked mole rats, funnily enough. I've never actually checked up what they look like, but they are an actual animal. That's all that I know about them. I love Ron Stoppable. It's one of the few examples of a cowardly character done competently, in my opinion. Stanley Ianats, please. Okay, fair enough. I'll pretend to understand what that joke is. Wow, what a shot by Kunde. Seller just booted that out of the way, and Adame was in the right position in order to just have it perfect. Yeah, I haven't a clue about holes, so I couldn't tell you anything about it. Is that a show? Is that a musical? Is that a book? Is that a theatre play? And we are the champions. By the way, it only took me an hour and a half, roughly, to do this one match. I'm nothing if not time sensitive. Who's lifting it now for us? With Ard and the whole lot being off, I don't actually know who's the captain to lift this. I don't actually know who that is. The joys of the regens not having any facial features to make you recognize the difference between them. 22. So who the hell is 22? Come on, do the goalkeeper cartwheel. I've never seen that happen, by the way. Ah, no, someone else done it there. Our green bandana done the cartwheel there. I've never seen it be done by the goalkeeper. So 22 was who? 22 was Jude Bellingham. So Jude actually lifted it. Not too bad to him. Our actual captain lifted it. And I love that the man of match is someone that was subbed on. I think the green bandana... No, it's not you. Let's look for whoever the green bandana is. Should be in the image, right? By the way, if I ever could have perfect hair... I know he has a forehead. I know he has a forehead like KSI. But if I've ever had perfect hair, that'd be it. Wayne Emery? No. Justin? No. I have no idea who had that green bandana. Anyway, we'll keep an eye for that in the future. Anyway, we are the Super Spanish Cup champions. 1 of 4 objectives this season is completed. We have successfully retained the Super Cup. So, we have 2 wins over Barcelona this season. We are beautiful to have that done. It's fantastic to end up seeing. We win the Super Cup 2 years in a row now. And we continue to see how things go from here. We have another 3 competitions to end up getting. The actual Spanish League itself, the Spanish Cup, and the Champions League. Now, we haven't qualified for the playoffs yet, but we'll see how that ends up going as time continues to go on. A 3.07 to their 1.58 is an interesting statistic as well. We did control them for most of the match. They still had a couple of pretty good chances. I don't care about the possession being worse. We did do better. We made the right substitution changes, which is the thing as well. I kind of hope someone comes in for Marco, to be honest. I mean... We're not going to get it up to 100, but I'm going to continue to try and raise it as much as I can. We should have sold him for the 126 million that we had the option for last season. If we bring Carlos back, we're selling Carlos. Which is unfortunate because he is an actual youth player, but he just hasn't developed good enough for us. He just hasn't developed good enough for it to be worth keeping him, unfortunately. Well, I suppose we wait and we can do it in the summer anyway. There's no real rush for me to bring people back and sell them. Fair enough. Yeah, at 18, he's already fantastic. He'll be getting game time immediately. He's so good, it's not even funny. He'll be one of our main attackers in the next wee while. That's what you want to see, to find a player like this that's just bonkers and immediately comes alive. He's going to be a mastodon in our team. Oh, the joys. Anyway. Greece is gone on loan now. Hopefully that'll help him improve a good bit. I love how his name is coming off of the back of the jersey. Won't finish second again with Exeter. What happened this season that meant that you won't finish second? Is it a situation that get your words, crack, you've gotten lower than what you expected? Or are you higher than what you expected? Like, did you get first? Yeah, go on. Gdansk shouldn't be a bad match now. Why you? He's on our shortlist, so I suppose, but still. 63 million for goalkeeper, not doing it. David Henry at 22. Honestly, would be perfect. But I'm not buying another Liverpool player, and to be honest, that's an outrageous transfer value. We just massively overachieved in the first 3 years. That makes sense. It's unfortunate when that ends up happening because it means that people have higher than average expectations of where you should be at, and the expectations cause problems for future improvement. But hey, hopefully you can end up getting back to a situation where your expectations end up playing out exactly as they should be and things end up working out well. That's the goal in the near future, so continue at it and hopefully it'll all be grand. Ooh, they've accepted the 100 million. How much do you think we could boost this up by? How much do you think we can boost this up by? I think we can try that. And if they come back and say yes to that, we just say yes straight away. I think we try that, and if they say yes to that, we just say yes straight away, and Stefan will end up being gone. We've too many good players in and around him that end up working, and we see what ends up happening. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about it, too. You do want to make sure that you're actually doing well. Is Vinny handling the scrutiny of his performances? What scrutiny? Like, what scrutiny? He has 70 performances, 5 from the bench, 7 goals and a 7.52 in terms of his form in his last 5 matches. This man isn't being scrutinized at all, and if he is being scrutinized, they are dense as hell. It's not even funny, to be honest, how dense they are if they're actually scrutinizing him. Ardguller currently playing as a winger. He won't be, so that's funny. Burke ideal, of course he is. Burke is just one of the best players in the world. But we're going to end the press conference there because they're asking a load of horse manure. Ironically, an awful lot of them won't be playing in this game because why would we against this particular opposition? Mark Hall, who is from Liverpool, going out on loan, fair enough. Secchi, of course Secchi got injured in the game when he's going to be playing in the next game. Just the teams who came up and down in the league are way better than us. That is fascinating that would be the case. Why would that be the case now? That the teams that came up are better than you as well as the teams that came down. I could understand the teams that came down to you being better than you, but why would the teams that came up be better than you? Surely you, with it being in the division, now should be better than the teams around you for most cases. Damn it. Okay, let's try this again. We've went like that. So we ended up going 60 million with installments of... We want to make it up to 100. So installments of 25 and then early after 50. We end up doing the extra 15 and try that. Nope. Go to target. Propose other. Man City. Do that. And go. $136 million, as if he's actually worth 136 million. But we'll try and get it back up to 100. He actually isn't worth near 136 million. Not even near it. He's good, but he's not that good. But if City come in and offer 100 million for him again, I'll happily let him go. It was me being greedy, unfortunately. It is an unfortunate problem with trying to be greedy. Oh my god. That's a poke and a half. 106 million. Raised to 123 million for Mert Ikan. Like, his stats are bonkers. We don't use that particular type of wing. But if he had the winger here, there, he'd be everything we wanted and more as a replacement for Vinny. He'll be phenomenal for AC Milan. So that's going to be beautiful. Fair enough, Enter. I will be able to join you at that. I'll do one more match here, and then I'll play 1 or 2 games of Among Us with you. Are you or any of the rest of them okay with me projecting the audio of the Discord over the stream? If there's a problem with that, ooh, AC losing to Las Palmas, interesting. And Barca haven't played yet. Versus Robbie Keane. Is it still Robbie Keane? Robbie Keane's Mallorca. There's a team called Activate that went up 3 tiers in a row. Bonkers! Yeah. I'll stream a wee bit of it with them when they end up going live. When they let me know about it, I'll end up streaming a bit of it. So, Vinny there. We'll give Marco another go. Hopefully he'll actually score in this game. Oscar over Ard. Brim over Warren Emery. Ugat is not fit yet, so we'll go Lothy over Eduardo. Jude is still whinging, so we'll keep Jude there. Foston we'll replace with Edmund. Burke we'll replace with Hines. Lee Base Seller, Hines. I'm going to go with this team. This should be a good team now to end up going with and seeing how things end up going. It has enough change within it and enough youth within it that the 14th place Kadinsk should end up having some problems against it, and we have the capability on the bench in order to change it should we need to as well. So I'm happy with the way that this is set up. Is there anyone we want to give a chance? I mean, we could... no. We'll put him on the bench, and we might give, if we're in a good enough position, we might give Carlos a go from the bench. But for now, we'll go with this. But yeah, for now, we'll go with this and see how this squad ends up doing. We won't be watching the full match of this one because it takes us an hour to get through a full match watch. But they're woeful in terms of their performance. We should be able to come in and dominate them. Marco should definitely score a goal. Otherwise, I'm going to actively have to try and sell him. So let's see how this ends up going. God damn it. Oh, come on. Don't do that. Sorry. A couple things breaking on me there. What the hell? Okay, there. What account you be going on to next? I'll be here for almost half an hour at most. That's fair enough, Duck. If you need to end up going, please do. It's 100% fair. As I say to everyone, I love having you here, but don't impact yourselves. If you need to end up going at any point in time, please do. I would much prefer for you to be healthy and safe than stick around. So please make sure you end up going when you need to. Okay, my friend? Ooh, that should have been a goal there by Adam. Quite sloppy play from us at the moment, which is disappointing, if I'm honest. Yellow background. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we need to be doing better than this. Marco's been given an opportunity now and really should be. To be honest, I don't feel well. This curry had... Why did you mix curry and ice cream together? I know people end up mixing like ice cream and tomato ketchup, but curry and ice cream mixed together doesn't sound nice at all. That sounds like a horrible mix. I'm back. I couldn't get a Discord link to load, though. My apologies about that, King. Let me know if there's more issues with it. I haven't had any issues with that Discord link, so it should still be working. So let me know if you have any other issues with it. Marco has finally scored. Beautiful, beautiful to Marco. Thank God for him. Hey, hello. How are you doing, my friend? It's a pleasure to have you back. Yeah, there's some sick, twisted people out there. Ice cream and ketchup is an actual combination I've heard people enjoy. Marco needed that goal. Marco badly needed that goal, so it's nice to end up seeing. It might be Cloudflare outage we are experiencing. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. At any time, if you come in, Marco, beautiful, yes. I'm doing good now, to be honest. It's been a good stream today. Enjoying the crack of everyone that has come in. Happy to end up seeing you here. Happy that it's Thursday, which means that it's almost the weekend. Just happy in general, thankful. Although I am sorry to hear that you're knackered. It is a pain in the arse when that ends up happening, my friend. They want ending ASAP after heavily experimenting and torturing to see how someone can be so stupid. I mean, yeah, it does, to be honest, it does sound fairly muck now to me that someone would end up having, ketchup on ice cream. But, still, you, Duck, have decided to go for curry on ice cream. So that's an even worse combination, in my opinion. You need to be lambasted for that combination, my friend. I don't like tomato sauce. I do, but I only like the Heinz variant of it now myself. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke, Halo. You joined it a little bit late. Duck was having curry earlier on and then had ice cream for his dessert. And he turned around and stated that he wasn't feeling well because of the curry and ice cream. And because he didn't differentiate in his comments, stating that they were separate, much like I have done with many other situations, including the MLS being Miles Lewis-Skelly. Goal by Heinz! That's a good way to get me to shut up. My player just scores a bomb burner of a goal. What a goal. Holy crap, what a goal. Yeah, Black or Halo, I understand that completely. Depending on what you're up to, the weekend can just fly by and be completely different. I'm guessing you stating that means you work during the weekend, do you, my friend? To be honest, I don't feel well because of that. All's well with me, plus the heat, humidity. Okay. How spicy would you have your curry, by the way, Duck? I'm a tame curry eater myself. But yeah. People need to look at, no matter what, eating curry and ice cream, separate you fool, and then curry again. He told us he had curry and ice cream. Yeah, they put me in all the time. You poor individual. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm doing like 50-hour weeks, and my days off are Tuesday and Monday. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks, to be honest. I wish there was something I can end up saying to you to end up giving you some praise about that one or something else, but that's just a horrible rotation to end up having. Usually 1 day off, 1 in, then 1 off, then 4 on 5. Yeah. The biggest problem with that is it just feels like all you're doing is work. It feels like you've no separation between it. Like, I'm doing well at separating my work versus everything else, but all I do is work, gym, stream, sleep, and repeat. And to be honest, for me at the moment, thankfully, it doesn't feel like a conglomeration of too much. I'm enjoying what I'm at, but you do have to be careful that the burnout doesn't happen too much about it. Marco almost got his hat trick. God, I hope Marco gets it. He needs it. Yeah, it's horrible burning out so fast. Then they ask me to come in on my days off. Well, that would just be an auto no for me. Auto no. Honestly, I turn around and say, if you call me on my day off, I'm not answering the phone. I understand that you don't want to be leaving people stuck in the whole lot, and you might need the extra money. Although the tax that'd be taken off of the overtime wouldn't be worth it anyway. At that point, I'd just be bloody putting my phone on silent, because screw that. But burnout is a legitimate problem. But I know some people state, and I never know how to feel about this opinion. Some people state that it isn't a job that gives you burnout. It's management that gives you burnout. And I never know how to feel about that opinion, because I both understand it in principle and despise it in practice, because both can be true, in my opinion. I work between 3 different stores too. Then I finish one and I get told to go to the other one to help. Yeah, you told me that before. Just horrible, because the travel time is included in it as well. Please tell me you're not using your own personal car to travel between the stores though, because like if anything goes wrong on your own personal car, then you have to worry about what a goal by Jude. Then you have to worry about if problems go wrong there, and it adds more stress to you and the whole lot. Brim, ironically, hasn't had... Well, 6.9 is a good performance, but he hasn't been extortionate in this. He's no Warren Emery. At least in this performance, he isn't. But then again, maybe he's the one that's activated Marco. Could be the case. Liebe with a horrible loss of the ball there. Marco doing a good bit of pressing. Again, could be the fact that Cadence is... Cadence is just so bad. Like, they just are really, really bad. I give you a tip. Only agree to over... Oh, that doesn't work. That doesn't work, Skull. There isn't anywhere around at the moment that legally is allowed to do that. Cash in hand is a thing that's dying out. Simply for the tax reasons. You're not allowed to do it that way. There's very few places you'll find cash in hand in general anymore. Unfortunately. Yeah, I am. I just tell my mates to keep me clocked into until I arrive at the next store, as they want me to clock out, then drive to... Screw that. Crikey, Doc. What a... Woo, that joke. Woo, that joke. Crikey, Doc. That is, wow, Doc. You know, I had the chance when I was in Manchester. I went into a store. I won't name the name of the store because of this, but they did end up selling a pair of what were basically Jimmy Savile glasses. And I won't lie, I was tempted. They wouldn't suit me a goddamn bit, but just for the joke of having them, I was tempted to actually, you know, purchase them. It's a complete farce, but, you know, interesting all of the same. Yeah, I'm just working on one quick thing in the background, so we'll start again in a second, my friend. But, like, Doc, if you are feeling bad, please do go and get some rest. Because you do end up needing it. And I know what you're like. You'll stick around just to make inappropriate jokes and feel like you're absolutely needed to be here. I would much rather you end up going for the night tonight, feel better, and when I end up streaming again, come back. I will state too, just so you know, I will more than likely be streaming tomorrow night, but it will be a good bit later than my normal streams, because I have things planned in the evening tomorrow, and as a result of which, there's a chance the stream won't happen until about 9-10 o'clock, which means we might only get a 2-hour stream or something akin to that tomorrow night, just so you know. I don't know, to be honest with you, if we'll end up getting a watch-along. I'm not going to promise that. And even if we did, I don't know if it would be for the whole night. But I'm not going to say no to that either, to be honest with you. Just bear with us now and just fixing something here in the background. Just bear with me. Crap. I'll continue to play this for the moment because ironically this match doesn't matter. We're already 5-0 up, 6-0 up. So that you get something to look at. Then do this. We're performing fantastic, which is beautiful to end up seeing. This is all stuff I should have done beforehand, and should have had done since I knew this was a possibility in the future. But bear with me while I'm setting up the layout for Among Us. I think it's too much money. I think he won't get inundated with the amount of hate that he would if United were going to end up doing it. My other problem with that deal, Halo, is for that... Okay, actually, I'm going to stop this and give me a second and I'll describe it exactly why I have a problem with it. Just let me do this one thing first, and then I'll show you why I'm at. Okay, that should be there. Bula. Might need to fix that in a bit. But, okay, so if I go... This should be set up to work for me. So, Football Manager here. Cool, so we can set that there. Now I'm going to try and do it for the virtual. Cool, okay. So, I need to bring up this board to explain it more. So, set that there. Now I'm going to try and you're going to need to bear with me while I do this because I'm not a Liverpool fan. Need to bring up this board to explain it more. By the way, correct me if I'm wrong on this. Need to bear with me while I do this because I'm not a Liverpool fan. So, by the way, correct me if I'm wrong on this. Okay, so to my knowledge on how Arnold Slot sets up, Arnold Slot pretty much sets up his team effectively like that. Doubling, is it? Pretty much sets up his team effectively. Slot sets up like that. On my knowledge.
Why is it
doubling, is it? Pretty much sets up
Why
his team
is it doubling?
effectively like that. On my knowledge.
Why is it
Doubling, is it? Pretty much sets up
Why is it doubling?
effectively like that. On my knowledge,
Why is it
doubling
doubling?
pretty much sets up
Why is it doubling?
effectively like that. On my knowledge,
Why is it
doubling
doubling?
pretty much
Why is it doubling?
effectively
Hello,
like
hello.
that. On my knowledge,
Why is it
doubling
doubling?
pretty much. Why did I? Crikey! I try to be sophisticated and explain what I'm doing, and then I break absolutely everything because I'm a tit. Why did I? Crikey! I try. Is it doubling up now? Sophisticated and explain what I'm doing, and then I break absolutely everything because I'm a tit. Still. Why did I? Crikey! I try. Is it doubling up now? God damn it! What I'm doing, and then I break absolutely everything because I'm a tit. Still. Is it doubling up now? God damn it! Still. Is it doubling up now? God damn it! So if I do that, and my audio's still doubling up, I just went to a random scene to check. Okay, so I added something wrong to this. So what did I add to this? I added doubling it up. Something wrong to this. So what did I add to this? I added doubling it up. Something wrong to this. So what did I add to this? I added doubling it up. Something wrong to this. So what did I add to this? Is it doing it when the tactics board is down? Huh. Is it doing it now? It shouldn't be. Yeah, okay. So I ironically, I had a bonus feature connected up on it that allows it to capture audio. I'll have to know for the future that it captures my system's internal audio, which effectively means that it doubles me. That's nice to know for the future. So, thank you, OBS, for being the most finicky bastard in the world. Anyway, here's my problem with Florian Wirtz. Okay. Frimpong is 4. Milos Krajcic is 1. Van Dijk is 3. Konate, and you'll swap in between them, but Konate is 2. Okay? Here's where the problem ends up coming. Darwin Núñez is going to be sold, but they're looking to end up getting Hugo Ortega from Feyenoord. So that's fair enough. The Hugo will be here. Okay? Virgil van Dijk is almost guaranteed to be here. Or not Virgil van Dijk. Mo Salah is almost guaranteed to be here. Right? Unless they sell him, which I don't think they are, Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo are almost guaranteed to be there, right? Alexis McAllister is almost guaranteed to be there. Or Declan Rice, with Alexis McAllister or Declan Rice being there, and Dominic Szoboszlai being there. Tell me, where do you put Florian Wirtz? Okay? If you're putting Florian Wirtz in his actual position, if you're putting Florian Wirtz on his actual position, Florian Wirtz should be here. Problem is, that's Dominic Szoboszlai. If you're putting Florian Wirtz in his second position, that means you're putting him here. Problem is, that's Mo Salah. If you're putting Florian Wirtz in his third position, that means you're putting him here. And there's nothing wrong with putting Florian Wirtz in the position of Luis Diaz and Gakpo. But there are far better players for that position for 150 million quid. Now, if he's taken Dominic Szoboszlai's place, I have a problem with that. Because Dominic Szoboszlai's competition should have been Alexis McAllister. So you should have signed in a secondary person to fight with Declan Rice, which is Wataru Endo. I don't think Liverpool need Wirtz. You're right. The spot that he should end up going is Szoboszlai. If you drop Szoboszlai, do you move Szoboszlai to Alexis McAllister? Because he can play there. But then you're dropping Alexis McAllister. And if you're dropping Alexis McAllister back, then you're dropping Declan Rice. Are you doing, and this could be the option, I disagree with this heavily, but this could be the option. Are you moving Declan Rice? Are you moving Declan Rice there? Because that could be what they're doing. And going Alexis McAllister, Dominic Szoboszlai, and Wirtz. I don't agree with that, but that could be what they're doing. That is my problem with the Florian Wirtz. Slot will know better than me. He's making up the team. I don't think they need him. I don't think they need him. I don't think they need him, and for 150 million quid, it's going to be intensely important where he plays, because he's going to have a magnifying glass under him. Or maybe he won't, and we know that there's a chance that maybe he won't, because Jack Grealish is walking his bony arse out of Man City after 5 years with them, almost, I'm sorry, effectively being a bust, and nobody saying a goddamn thing. Will that be the same case for Liverpool? There's more eyes on Liverpool than there is on City. But it wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me. That's all I'm saying. That is my problem with the Florian Wirtz deal. He is a fantastic player. But he would be better in an Arsenal system to replace Ødegaard. He would be better in a United system to replace Bruno. And he would be better in a City system to replace De Bruyne. I like Savinho, and I like the book to spend 70 million quid on in January, but neither of them are Kevin De Bruyne. So we'll see. I think there is quite a high chance this deal turns out to be a bust for him. I think there's a high chance this deal turns out to be a bust for him. I think he'll underachieve. I think he'll underachieve at Liverpool. I think he won't live up to his price tag, and I don't think it's possible for him to live up to his price tag. Yeah, but the problem with that is, if he's the main guy to replace Salah, he's not the best person for 150 million quid for that position. He's not a right winger. God, I love Foster. He's not a right winger. That's the problem. He's not a right winger. He'll do it. He can play it, but he's not a right winger. In fact, you'd be better putting Szoboszlai out there. Which could be what happens. Szoboszlai would be better on the wing than he would be. Alexis McAllister would be better on the wing than he would be. He can play there. It's just not his position. Just if that is the decision, that he's replacing, that ultimately when Salah leaves, he's going to be the person that they replace there, I disagree with it. But I also think that's the wrong move. I think that should have been Alexis McAllister. I think he's the captain, the material that they have. But hey, Wirtz is young, and hey, if you think you're right, we'll see. Yeah, but every good band has a lead singer. Every good band has a lead singer. That's the point on that one. I can see Maka leaving next season to Real Madrid. Maka? Who's Maka? Stephen McManaman. Do you mean Alexis? Is that a nickname for? Oh, okay. I don't I don't. I can see McAllister becoming. I can see McAllister becoming a squad player. I think he was a fantastic signing for when he was purchased. I think he's a good player, but I do think he has been heavily overinflated in his ability. So we'll see. I think he'll be a significantly better Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott. Maybe that's me underplaying him. Again, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not willing to rule out anything. I'm not willing to rule out anything, to be honest. There's just something about him that doesn't hit it for me. Oh, yes. I 100% agree with you on that one, Halo. For any other team in the Premier League, he starts on 100%. Even City, he starts on 100%. I think he'll be benched in Liverpool's team. Like, Liverpool's team is an astonishingly good team. And the fact that Klopp wasn't able to get anything out of that team kind of speaks a lot to him. The fact that he only got 4 trophies out of that team over the years that he had it. I know that Pep was there, but he should have gotten a lot more out of that team. But I also... By the way, I recognize I'm saying this about the Premier League champions. There's something about Liverpool where they are incredibly inconsistent. They don't have that killing edge. They don't have that killing edge. And I don't think they've had that killing edge for about 10 years. I know they've had 2 Premier League championships in that 10 years, but the 2 years when they have won the Premier League are the 2 years where City didn't have that killing edge. And then they should have, like, there's something about the culture in Liverpool. There's something about the culture in Liverpool that worries me about that Liverpool side. And I also... City is its own kettle of fish. Because signing that many players is bound to end up causing an amalgamation of problems to end up happening. It's the problem with signing too many players. It's the worry I have for United. We need an entirely new team, but buying a new team means a load of players that haven't worked together with each other, which means that there's a chance they won't end up flowing together. City might have that problem considering they have 8 signings in 2 windows. They need it, but they're not a team yet. And will they have the glue that ends up sticking them together? I think that's slightly the Arsenal problem. But everyone seems to have a lack of killer edge on them at the moment. Who knows? At this point in time, I think City are getting away with it. I don't think anyone is going to do anything about it. It would have been done already if they were going to do anything about it. No bother, Duck. Thank you so much for coming in. It was a pleasure to have you, my friend. Make sure you have a great sleep. I'll be on again tomorrow at some point. Please make sure that you're doing well. Make sure your crack is 90. And as always, I am the stupid sexy crack. And you can please Paul Mahone. didn't that add? Media source. We're looking at the vertical one, that's why. Base design. What? Cool. Okay, bear with us now. I'm just trying to set things up for moving over to Among Us for 1 or 2 games with Enter and the crew. Just bear with us while I do that. And then need to do the same thing here for those of you on TikTok. This will be in real time because there's no transitional phase for your scenes. Okay, that was a mistake. Do this. You're always doing stuff I should have done off stream. Apologies for the inconsistent flow. Continue to talk. I'll end up answering whatever you end up saying once I get everything fixed. So. There. Do that. And pull it there. Down. There. What's up, Skull? Oh yeah, Enter. I'm just doing the setup now, so happy out. We can save this now, and then I'll change the stream titles for everyone else. So just bear with me while I do that, because I need to do it on all of these applications, because the joys of it being simple. Yeah, so that is it changed on TikTok. Just checked too. Verts has more goals and assists per season than Sabaz did, and Verts is younger. Sabaz roughly 6 goals and 8 per Bundesliga. Oh, that's what I'm saying. He's a fantastic player, Halo. He's a fantastic player, and if he's replacing Sabazlai, that's fine. I just don't think it was needed. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it was needed. I think for 150 million quid, you didn't need it. He's still a fantastic player. It's just... I'm not at all saying that he's a bad player or anything like that, or that you'll end up regretting the signing. Not at all. It's just a weird signing because of the amount of money that it ends up coming into. And I will finish up the YouTubes now.